Thank you very much, Michael. I'm going to share the story of design in India. But before that, I would like to thank organizer for inviting me in this conference and sharing our experience in taking the journey of design in India. So what I'm going to do is that my presentation is in three parts. The National Institute of Design. Before that, I will talk about India and its diversity and how government took the decision. In fact, the National Institute of Design comes under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, which is very unique. Usually the institutions, Education Institute comes under Ministry of HRD, but right from the beginning, this institute is under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And then I will talk about that how this institute was given responsibility to frame the national design policy and how to implement that policy through India Design Council. So just the title slide, when you see that, just to show you the cultural richness of India, and when we see that the cultural richness in Africa and in India, we see lots of similar situation. And when which we are moving forward, then how we can use this creative industry or cultural industry for the development. So I will talk a little bit on the cultural industry as well. So cultural backdrop of the country, just to talk about India and how it has gone. It's a 5,000-year-old civilization, 1.2 billion population, more than 1.2 billion population, spread over to 3,500 kilometers in length, and it's a big country that way. And 438 languages are effectively used in India. 36 states with different culture, language, customs, and traditions. It's probably the only country in the world where Stone Age and Space Age coexist even today. And why I'm telling that Stone Age and Space Age is just 1 month ago, the Mars mission, India is the 4th country successfully put Indian satellite into the Mars orbit. And in fact, it's the first Asian country which has successfully gone into this Mars mission. And it's the first in the world. In the first attempt, the satellite has gone into the orbit of Mars. So that way, one side, you are talking about space research, the way it is happening in India. And another side, when you look into just 500 kilometers away from this space research center, the people are still using bow and arrow for hunting. And that kind of diversity which is there in this country, which makes it very interesting. So the 7th largest country in the world, and the map of India, if you see, that the states are divided either linguistically or through the mountains and rivers which are going. So that kind of division is there, not just a straight line. And the entire country, 36 states, basically are some way either through language or through rivers and mountains, the states are divided. The cultural milieu of India, all the time you will see some or the other celebration is going on. I don't know how many festivals India has. So that way, many times we feel that we get only 1/3 working days. Rest of the time we celebrate functions. And the coexistence also is that you can see the elephant, the way it has been decorated from back and front, both the sides, and making it means like it's a coexistence which you look around, which is very celebrative. Again, a nation leaping ahead with the path of development, cherishing rich cultural heritage while aspiring to be a global player. So you can see the transformation which is happening in India. So India through ages, if we take it, so it's a traditional India, which I am talking 1,000 years ago or so. Mughal India, because India has been influenced or ruled by many foreign countries, and the Mughal period was almost for 500 years. I think the 13th or 12th century they invaded, and then they remained there till Britishers came in 17th century. Then the colonial India, and post-independent Nehruvian socialistic India, and then afterwards the post-globalized India, which is after 85 or so. In each, even if the rurals have come from outside, that you can see that some influence, some knowledge they brought in, and I think that richness has come in India because of these different influences. So traditional India, together of art, culture, and tradition, which you can see 1,000 years ago or so, Mughal India patronizing the handicraft, a tremendous influence on handicraft came in these 500 years. Taj Mahal was built that time. And colonial India, British Raj, where the Industrial Revolution, material processed abroad and imported back. That was the scenario during the British Raj. And then 1947 onwards, when India became independent, it was a very socialistic model where the more emphasis was on PSUs and craft sectors and cottage industry, and it was a very controlled economy which went on till globalized India after 85, where the open economy, joint ventures, IT revolution, business process outsourcing and retail boom, too much of competition, and the moment competition came in, the design became very, very important ingredient for the development. So India, if we just divide, actually there are agrarian ethos. So actually the more than 51% people are employed on agriculture, and then industrial ethos, which is the recent phenomena where 22% people are employed in industrial side. But agrarian ethos, which is very strong culturally, where the tolerance, adaptability, concern, sensitivity together, we share what we have, are very strong values which are there in agrarian ethos. But when we get into industrial, where more consumeristic thinking coming in, where the family values, nuclear family, its values, individuality, I, me, myself, more and more for me, is and more consumeristic way of looking at things started happening. So agrarian ethos, the objects of veneration and object venerated, the artisans and craftspeople, creator of product. In fact, each product had some kind of name of location or people connected with it. But in industrial ethos, those things started disappearing. And multiplicity, replaceability, replicability, and disposability became the very important thing for industrial ethos. And loss of contextual identity, because all cities now you go, Eastern India or Western India or Southern India, or the shops and malls and everything starts looking the same. Even the religious places, you will see Pepsi and Levi's and McDonald's and all those things. So the control, alter, delete culture is very strongly coming in. So things which are not useful, you just delete it from your mind and just go on to the next one. So on these kind of scenarios, this education system, which I will just talk about again going back to the 50s, that the Charles and Ray Eames were invited to suggest that what kind of design institute India should have. In 1958, they wrote a report called India Report, and I find it is still very relevant, which they talk about the mostly on social innovation. They talked about design for society and design for social development. And I think those are the part which we felt enriched the whole education model at NID. And you can see that how 96 the plant was there and how now in 2014 has grown, and a lot of thinking has gone in evolving the design education at NID. So this Charles and Ray Eames, who wrote the India Report, I will not read because of the constraint of time. But if you have time afterwards, after the presentation, the lota, the pot which you see, the Eames has defined it very well, that this is the design which has evolved over the thousands of years of understanding of how people behave and how this pot has come up. And Eames had made a film. So afterwards, if whoever is interested, I can show that film, which is of 8 minutes. So 1961 to 2014, 53, 54 years of existence. NID, being a first design school, very experimental design school, was given lots of responsibility, not only in education, but also design promotion, design practice, and intellectual property, and all those things started working. So you sometimes, it's very difficult when we talk about policy. You see that why an institute is talking, but institute was the place where this policy has evolved completely. So this institute, which is involved in education, research, training, incubation. Incubation, we feel, is a very, very important aspect of it. Publication, promotion, and protection, which is intellectual property. All these activities which we are doing at NID, and they become the policy framework afterwards. And what is unique in NID is basically that the government side, the way structured knowledge is coming in, money is coming in, and another side, the craftsman, grassroots level, the tacit knowledge, which is coming in. So one side, we are inviting craftspeople, and the beauty is that the students come and interact with the craftspeople and try and understand the culture, try and understand the way materials have been dealt by them, and then create the new product. So I thought that it's a very good model where the tacit and explicit knowledge which are coming together, which is improving quality of life, design promotion, enhancing design knowledge, and innovative solutions. So the thrust of design education at NID is understanding the local needs, solutions, materials, identifying user characteristics, sustaining traditional and modernity, use of contemporary knowledge and technology. And emphasis on culture in design is for that. So I will tell you about the type of projects which we have done and which has influenced on the policy which has come up, and where that empowerment word now, actually Mukandi has said that not to use, so I would use that, what word Mukandi has said? Emancipation. So, but both these giant leaders talk about emancipation, actually that how you empower people through education or going into the grassroots and working with them. So a great influence, in fact, South Africa has also, in fact, medium for Gandhi to start his freedom movement from South Africa. So there is a great influence of both the people on the policies which we are working for. The social development, and this is in 70s where, and this project has really influenced the policy very much, is a rural university. Now rural university, what they did, that the Indian Institute of Management, very high-end management institution, and National Institute of Design, they went to Rajasthan, one state where the one village called Javaja, which was social acceptance was not there of those people, extremely poor. The government of India has declared that village very poor, and said that what design and management can do. They were basically making the footwears in leather, and some weavers were there, and this community had a real difficult time. And then the management gurus and designers started working with the craftspeople, and you can see the local material, local technology, they started improving it, and then came out with this product. Now these products are now selling internationally, and very rustic local vegetable tanned leathers, and the weavers who worked on the wool which is locally available. But this experiment, rural university experiment, has really changed the what you call socio-economic status of that village. Now these people talk, sit in the boardrooms, talk to the exporters, take the orders, and they're confident enough. You can see the situation in 76 that the women were not even show their face because of the social strengths which are there. But then there is so much of happiness which you see in 2008 when this comparative study was done, that when the project started and now where do they stand. They were not even allowed, these communities were not even allowed to fetch the water from the well. And the whole mindset of that village is changed after this whole thing, is that now they are totally democratic way that they can behave in that village, and they can go and fetch water and mix up with the even upper caste, because there is a very strong caste system in India and especially in Rajasthan. So the empowering, the confidence to also negotiate on various things, that kind of things which had come to them. Now woman empowerment was always a very important thing. We said that if we educate a woman, we are educating the entire family, and if the focus we give to this and the experiment which we had, so it so happened that we got opportunity to work in Africa. This is Africa-India Forum Summit, where this bilateral or the cultural diplomacy said that the NID has worked extensively for empowering the woman in the rural India. Can they share this knowledge with the countries? And we took Zimbabwe, Ethiopia, Ghana, Malawi, and Zambia. And we are happy to tell you that Zimbabwe, Ethiopia, and Ghana, three projects we have finished successfully. Now, if you talk about Ghana, the weavers are so advanced. The weaving is so fine. And it was really a challenge for NID that what kind of knowledge we are going to share. They are so high on understanding and weaving techniques and the designs which they are making. So NID designers say that, okay, we will concentrate more on process, we will concentrate more on natural dyes, we will concentrate more on standardizing the materials, and we'll see that how the productivity can be increased. And this, where you see that NID students, NID faculty visited to Zambia, worked with the craftspeople, and then we invited 25 craftswomen to NID, and we developed product with their skills, and we also introduced bamboo, because bamboo is, I feel, is a future material, and a lot of lifestyle products and furnitures and all can be developed in this. In fact, we have a bamboo research center at NID, and these are the products which have come out from Zimbabwe, and we see the impact now. We see that first of all, the very higher quality of dye, the molds were made, so the size of baskets are uniform. If they were making 4 baskets in a day, they are making 8 baskets now, and the export orders are coming in. So that way we see the impact is already started showing in last 2 years. So you see that the vegetable dye, the interactive thing at NID when they were developing the products. And in Ghana, Vice President's wife who inaugurated the function, in fact, she came twice, and the bag which she is carrying, who is that side to me, she carried this bag all over the world. That was created by the Ghana women under this workshop. And this is the Ghana, very fine weaving they are doing. And this is Ethiopia, totally different style of basket weaving. Again, this is at NID. And this is at Ghana, Atag, where the entire workshop took place. So it was in 3 parts. First, our team went there to Zimbabwe, Ghana, and Ethiopia, understood what material is available, what kind of tools they are using, mapping the whole capability, and then identifying the craftswomen, bringing them to NID, and then NID 3 weeks workshop. They go back, and then there is a follow-up workshop after 1 month to see that how much they have learned, and then continuously looking into the productivity and what kind of orders which they are getting. Similar kind of thing which we are doing for the craftswomen in India, in a remote part from Northeast and other places, and these all projects are funded by the government. Now, government is putting in a lot of money for such kind of capacity building in the crafts sector. The clay. Then this is the water hyacinth. It's Northeast, and it's a weed actually. It is a nuisance thing, and how to really develop money, getting rid of this weed is very difficult, and you spend a lot of money. But somehow we started making the products out of it with the craftswoman over there. And collaborative venture, where this is the, I think, started with South Africa and India, where we said, why not collaborate? The craftspeople are from South Africa, craftspeople from India, and I think it is the 100 years or 75 years of the Mahatma Gandhi's, the freedom movement started from South Africa to commemorate that particular day. The craftspeople from both the country worked together, and the products which came out were put on the ramp, and the business was created for the both countries' craftspeople. This is, I feel, is in policy framework for Africa and India is a very, very important thing, is recognizing the legacies. Now, northeastern part, there are many tribals, and they are moving towards the cities, and they have so rich understanding of crafts, textile, and wood and metal and everything. They're just disappearing. And I would say that thousands of years of knowledge which they are gathering, it may disappear in 50 years. So far, the documentation of Indian crafts and all was done during the British time, but I think the cultural ministry is putting in lot of money towards documenting this languishing crafts of the country, and we are actually, these 8 states which are in Northeast, NID is getting opportunity to send the students and faculty to the remotest village of Northeastern, which are very difficult area. So the learning also to the students about the traditional crafts, and that learning is giving them some kind of insight to work in that area in future. You can see the color combinations and beadwork and other thing from these tribals from the northeastern states, and how they use a very simple loom to make to weave this textile. And then indigenous craft practices. This is the diversification. They are all in the policy framework, that how we diversify these crafts which has no market, and how we can use the e-commerce to promote these crafts and connect it with the marketing agency. And we are going to different states, working with them and trying to see whatever tools they have, can we improve the hand tools, can we introduce some simple tools for which they can make a better raw material for the product, and then give them some design alternatives which are actually can have export potential as well as the domestic market. So these are some of the products which are coming out from this product diversification. And here you can see that in Bamboo Center, the students, faculty and other designers, what kind of the product diversification they are doing it in bamboo, chandeliers and hanger. This is something which I really like. The design is so simple, just by cutting, creating a hanger. And one of our graduate who has incubated at NID is now really exporting bamboo furniture, which has been created by the crafts people. Very contemporary products which he has made it in, and he is there, Sandeep Sangaru. Then under corporate social responsibility, now there is a law that the 2% of the profit they will have to put it for socially relevant project, and that way a lot of money from the corporate is coming to place like NID and to other design fraternity to develop new product range and see that these people who are involved in this craft area. So this is the Exim Bank who has given the amount to NID to train these crafts people. Now this is a major concern, the sanitation and healthcare. The rural India, I would say that the sanitation facilities have not really gone into the places. In fact, percentage wise, I would say more than 50% of people do not have proper sanitation facilities. And this really creating lot of effects because of the poor sanitation on health issues, school dropout. The girls, they don't pursue the education after 15 years of age or so because there is no toilet in the school. And that is becoming really a very serious matter, that they want to study but there is no toilet. And I think when you talk about the space and other kind of thing, then you see that unless this area designers really work, then it's no point in having these kind of extreme situations. So the dignity also which is connected with it. So challenges, in fact, the product acceptability and acceptance. Government is giving lot of money that you build a toilet, but acceptance of the toilet, the cultural aspect of it, if it is not fitting in, people don't use it. And I think that understanding design fraternity really look into and create. So we did a major research project and looking into that how old people, young, less able people are using, and especially what are the issues related with the people like polio and other kind of thing to use the toilet. And we are trying to develop a system which can be a service provider kind of thing, where they don't have to build, but some service provider can make the toilets and they can set up at the school and manage it. The new areas where NID is getting in, and also this is becoming a policy framework, but addressing the taboo subjects, like the menstrual cycle, people don't like to talk about it, and children, when they experience first time, it's very difficult that what kind of effect they are going through in their mind, who will talk to them, who will tell them about it. So the design group have discussed it. In fact, they have made the animation film. They are going village to village and showing that animation film to people. And also one of the NID graduate has made a portal. You just go and interact with that and understand the whole changes in body and then try and understand it. So I think these are the areas where lack of knowledge has tremendous health impact on it, and designers need to work in these areas. Now this sanitary napkin, and it is very, in fact, when we were looking into data, there are 355 million menstruating women in India. If suppose you look into the 1.2 billion, 600 million women are there, and how many of that age, and only 12% are using the what you call the sanitary napkins. What about the rest of the woman? What kind of things they are using? They are using piece of cloth that is again leading into the lot of hygienic issues, and then designers have worked out with a reusable type of cloth pads which are very inexpensive, and there is total instruction in the box which has been designed where how you can maintain the hygiene and how you can really take the precautionary health care if you are using these products which are very inexpensive and reusable. The community based intervention for rural maternity health, that almost 1,200,000 women died because of the not having proper health care for women in the rural India. And I think it's a major issue. What are the issues which are related with, whether it is a medical, whether it is infrastructure, whether it's a social thing, and how will you address those issues? Again, a very major design issue. And there, the projects which have been undertaken, that can this information be used on tablets, digital thing can be used it. So the nurse is going village to village, taking the health record and passing it on to the district level and sharing it with her. So the data is there, authentic data is there. So precautionary thing, if you have to take care of it, you can take care of that. And people are well versed with this digital healthcare equipment which people are using in rural India. The public service. Now public service is also, you see that when we talk about design, the people who have money, the corporate and all those people, they can hire designers from anywhere from the world, and that is what is happening. In fact, lot of big companies in India, you see that they are getting designers from Italy, US, all those places. But at policy level, you have to really look into that when it is coming to marginalized people, when it is coming to infrastructure related things, how government can really come forward and address those issues. And public service, which has been actually huge fund goes from the government. And when you talk about the Mumbai local train, I don't know how many of you have gone to Bombay, but 7.5 commuters are every day using these local trains. And these local trains are going on very old, and this project has come. They said that do something, at least create a ventilation in the train, because the 3 times more people are traveling in that. And then this project, which we did lot of research in this area and then came out with this purple color thing, where the ventilation and other aspects and how they are using it are doing that. The monorail, when it came up, I say right from the beginning, understand the user pattern in Bombay, what kind of profile of users which are using it, and how we can really create interior of this monorail or the local trains which we are doing. Now this identity card for fishermen, you see that there is a huge what you call sea coast is there, more than 5,000 kilometers. And these poor fishermen, they don't know when they are going, so sometimes they move towards the Sri Lanka, sometimes they move towards Pakistan, and then they are caught because sometimes they see that they are the terrorist or something, and there is no identity to them. So this information design, where millions of the fishermen who are there in this coastal area were given this card, and we were asked to develop the total identity of this card. I would say that very successfully now there is the identity of this fishermen. If they are going, they get dignity because there is a belonging to the country, the document is there, and if suppose any police or anybody, they harass them as a terrorist or something, at least they have something with them. The design intervention for underprivileged, Jaipur Foot, I don't know how many of you know, but we had also nominated that World Design Impact Award. Here this NGO based in Jaipur, in fact 2,000 rupees, how many dollars? 2,000 rupees, I think $40 or something, $30-40, even less than that, $30. The entire artificial limb has been created in that. In fact, anybody who have amputated limb or something, they are coming to Jaipur in 2 days' time. They give that artificial limb to them and they can walk back. I think so much of empowerment you are doing, and now people who are coming from Afghanistan and other that where that lot of mines and other things, people their hands and especially the legs are getting amputated because of the mines. They are coming there. They come only in 2 days. In fact, in India they have been given the railway fare. They sit there and free of cost this artificial limb is given. But this particular one, with MIT, they have developed this joint, which is actually only 1,000 rupees. That whole joint is there, which if you go in America and try and get this kind of joint, it may be in thousands of dollars. So that kind of bringing down costs. So it is basically providing that kind. In fact, the people who have this knee joint, they can climb trees, they can ride motorcycles. So these are the innovations I think is very, very important when we are talking and empowering people. So lots of product for differently abled people, which for blind people or people who have arthritis, which we are doing, braille phones and other things, which are getting global recognition. And this is another area which requires design attention and a policy framework, is that work environment. The coal miners, the mines are 200 years old or so, very primitive way people are working. They're not been given a new technology, and they're digging out coals, and the condition, you can see that the way they are really using, and these products were developed again with the support of government, and trying to really see that the accidents are minimized with this. Then the salt worker. This is another very, very difficult area. In fact, the salt pan, their skin is just getting almost like a stone. And how you will really take care of their working environment, and then how the tools and the footwear and other things which you have developed, this is a major area of design intervention. Railway track, people who are maintaining the railway track, again ergonomically very bad tools which are really hurting their hands and other things, and design intervention, developing more ergonomically suitable tools. And this grassroots innovation. I think in Africa, in India, this is similar situation, necessity, where lots of people are trying to solve their own problems. And in that scenario, if design institution identify those innovations which are happening at grassroots level and modify and see that can we make it more workable. And we have a studio where this grassroots innovation, which are the innovations carried out by farmers, innovation carried out by some mechanics, brought to the institute and working on them, like the small plow with the motorcycle, and different machines which are developed by the farmers, which have been modified and worked and made it more user friendly and safe. And in classroom situation also, we are trying to see that how, if disaster is happening, how design education, design intervention can help in all these extreme situations. And students are exposed to this kind of projects more and more, whether it is flood, whether it is earthquake, or some calamity happens. But interesting part is this butterfly, which you see is a prize winning product, where this toy butterfly, you can put it on the syringe. Now what happens that when any injection you give it to children, they cry, they see the injection and they cry. And this person has come with this idea that if you make a toy like butterfly or some such kind of thing, the child will get engaged with the toy, that I am going to give you this toy, and by that time the job is done. So some small innovations which you are trying to bring in and see that how we can make things simple. And the handloom India, I think large number of people who are working on this handloom, and over the centuries, I think very fine cotton they are making, very fine silk they are making, but power loom has hurt many people. A lot of people have become unemployed. And then we felt that how this traditional knowledge, we can bring it to the contemporary use. And the cloth, the sari which they were making, where there was no market, the fashion designers were brought in, and then the new uniforms were developed with the design, and then suddenly the requirement of cloths on the handloom has increased. So Indian design is at an important juncture. Declaration of NID as Institute of National Importance. In fact, NID has been declared by the Parliament the Institute of National Importance, meaning the design has been given that kind of recognition after technology. National design policy has been introduced. establishing the India Design Council, benchmarking design education and research, instituting the India Design Mark, which I am going to show you, I Mark for design promotion and protection. This is the parliamentary note where the NID has been declared as Institute of National Importance. And this is the design policy, which I will be leaving behind. So this has been cleared in the parliament in 2007. And whatever projects which I have talked about, whether it is a design education, design promotion, and design protection, some of these guidelines which has been given and India Design Council is implementing. This success story is India Design Mark. We are going into the 4th round, and how to encourage Indian industry that they should use design and improve their product and make it world class. And India Design Mark, it's a mark, it's not an award, it is just benchmarking the good quality product. And you can see that 2013 that the product started coming in, they are getting I Mark. And this collaboration is with JDP, Japan Institute of Design Promotion. In fact, they are 54-year-old G Mark, and we learned from them. The people came, they taught us how to do things, and then it is now really that these products can also entitled to go to, in fact, for G Mark, second level jury. So I'll go a little fast now. These are the products which have got India Design Mark, and there is a recognition. These are the exhibitions. And this is one of the most successful scheme, design clinic scheme, that 26 million SMEs are there in the country. It's a 60 million employment next to agriculture, 45% of total exports, and 11% contribution to GDP. Now this sector is really very big, but their products are not having enough what you call value addition, and they are really struggling. Their only advantage is low cost production which they are doing. And where the government has given this NID that please go to these sectors all over the country, talk about design, send designers over there, try and understand what is the need, and then heavy subsidy of 60%. If they are hiring a designer to design their product, the 60% design fees will be given by the government through us. And this has become really a design movement into the country, where 316 design awareness seminars which we have organized, 200 design awareness programs where the need assessment which we did, 27 orientation program, what is all about this scheme, 193 professional projects and 98 students. We are also giving 200,000 rupees for student projects if they take up any small scale industry projects. These are some of the projects which you see through design clinic scheme, and they are getting a big orders now. Otherwise they would have never hired the actually designers unless this subsidy was not given to them. These are the outcome of all these products. They are the working prototypes, all from small scale industry. Then incubation. We have an incubator where we are encouraging young designers not to go and join the company but set up their own startup. And if they need money, we have some venture funds, we give them funds. Whatever innovations they have, built up the enterprising. And enterprising, I feel, is very important thing, that we need to promote entrepreneurship, because they are the job providers. And if bright people are there who are working, rather than working in multinationals, if they set up their own company, they may be able to provide more employment to people, which is the dire need today in Africa as well as in India. Some of the innovations, in fact, 60 million order our incubator has got from US on on my right hand side products which you see. Publication and promotion is very important. So we have this CII-NID Design Summit, 14th year. It is going on, where the corporates, the educators, the policy makers, the government officials all come together and discuss about design and its importance. So this is all design promotion, where we have launched also design award, design publication. And this is e-learning platform, because now if design education has to go, where will you get faculty? So the government, the HRD has given us money, and 3 institutions, they are documenting the lectures, putting it on the website eKalpa, and people are, like classrooms, like engineering colleges and other, they are knowing more about the design thinking. And also making the design retail, where the students can test their products. So these kind of shops, if we are making, the students get a chance to retail their products. Intellectual property rights, In fact, we have incentive scheme now, 2,000, 3,000 rupees, which we give to a student if they bring and then register their design. That way we are just trying to actually make it more popular that you must register your designs, you must patent your designs and ideas. These are some of the products which have been either patented or registered. But Council's initiative to look forward is that one is that virtual museum of design, which we are working towards, that how to create this virtual. I'm just going towards the end, only 2 slides are there. Virtual museum is that let us bring all good design thing in a virtual space. So let industry go there and see that what is good for them. Branding India design. The brand creation is like India Design Mark, which we are doing. Initiating design incubators. Incubator in design policy is very important. We must nurture this entrepreneurship based on the innovations which are coming out. Design appreciation workshops. Go to industry, talk about design benefits. National data bank. You must have a data bank of all designers. So people, if they want designers in their region, they can directly contact through this database. Increasing design registrations, which we are already doing it. Including design education in schools. Now school as well as in engineering college, I feel design policy framework, it is very important to include. The creative cultural manufacturing. The cultural industry. I think this biggest resource Africa, India, Latin America have, that there is so much of knowledge of these beautiful products which are. But the thing is the scaling up, maintaining the quality, these are the issues. And IKEA, I would say that IKEA is a good model where lots of these handicrafts products are going. They are sourcing from India. I'm sure they are sourcing from Africa as well. But such kind of platforms where we create, maybe we can give lot of people employment, and they don't have to uproot from village to city, and those people can be provided material and good quality of fittings and other things. And if IKEA type of, there are many people who can source from them, I think the creative industry has a great future ahead. So the future challenges that design need to tackle: education, certainly, because as I said that it's very important that education should be a priority. Sanitation, again, because of the healthcare. Security is becoming major issue now. I think the policy framework, security of women, security in general, and design against crime, which we are talking about. Healthcare, because there's so much of money spent in healthcare, how design can be used. So preventive healthcare measures can be taken. Empowering women and children. Urban migration, how we can really deal with it. And environment, the sustainability aspect. These are the points which I think in design policy we need to focus. And this is the last slide. I think just manage it in time. Thank you very much.